Last time on Desperate Attune, Saida is dead. Long live Saida. One of the names of the Prince of Endings, An-Khatam, manifested in Saida's old body. This avatar is called Sri An-Kethris. Making itself and its nature known to the Rising Moon Sword School, the Sri is banished into a closet by moonlight because she cannot attend the wake that is to be held for Saida. Saida's wake is a somber affair, but in the midst of death there is love aplenty. Bidruhi has a serious conversation with Mumtaz as he draws her into his inner circle, ready to trust her with the great secret of what really happened to Saida. Jackal comes to pay her respects and is brought into the circle too. We are ready to see the big reveal, but before that, Mushfiq and Clementine finally kiss. Or maybe more. If you're enjoying the season, please consider joining our Patreon for $1 a month. We are entirely listener supported, and $1 goes a long way to keeping us going. Patrons have access to end of session XP and discussions about the session, posted once every 2 weeks, and also gain access to our Discord where you can hang out with the cast. You can support us at patreon.com/desperateattune, or if you'd rather, you can just make a one-time donation at ko-fi.com/desperateattune. You can also gain access to our Discord by downloading a copy of Sun Mirror Reflecting Uduasha, which is our free setting rework for Uduasha, available at desperate-attune/itch.io. Sun Mirror is a real labor of love, and if you get your hands on it, then we would really appreciate any donations you make, because all of it goes right back to keeping the pod going. And now, let's continue with Saida's Week.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks. And that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama. Yes, Bidruhi gathers everyone in the back room somewhere. And by everyone, I mean the inner circle, which is apparently basically the player characters, your cohorts, your mom, and your girlfriend and your rival /
Alkader, I guess also who were they? Biscuit Butchan and so on.
Yeah, the community leaders. Okay, yeah. So we're having a smaller funeral inside the big funeral. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a public event in a South Asian coded society. There were hundreds of people here.
Yes.
Messing in and out.
Yes, exactly. So now we're doing the close members only. But yes, absolutely. I also picture there being like hundreds of people. Everyone who vaguely knew Saida for any reason showed up, right? So
yeah, you also feed beggars and so on,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's all done. I think this entire process would take hours anyway.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah. So plenty of
Several
time.
batches of food.
Yeah. Plenty of time for people to conduct their private business and then reconvene. Not naming any names.
And so you reconvene
Yes.
after the hours of public funeral.
Yeah, and I think now there's probably some sweets and so on being passed around, some tea. I don't think we have a table. Well, we do have a table that we normally eat at, but I think today we aren't. We're kind of like sitting around in like some sort. No, that does make sense because it's a small space. If there's a big table, that's dominating a lot of space. So I think we're just kind of standing around at like probably in front of the kitchen. Everyone's kind of like sitting at the table. There's probably chairs drawn up, cushions, and so on for the extra people. There's probably a few more people in the kitchen, a couple of people in the hallways, and so on. I'm imagining like as cramped as possible, you know. And he's standing next to a wardrobe. This little closet for like brooms and stuff and like extra clothes. It's just positioning that doesn't seem important. I think he clears his throat, kind of looks around at everyone. Is everyone here? Like, have Clem and Mushfiq returned?
Yes, I think.
Okay. So I think he looks at the two of you for support. He looks at his bomb, kind of like gives a nod. I don't think anyone was like, I don't think he had cleared any of this before, but I think we had sort of discussed that maybe it would happen. But he's going to go into it. You realize he's going to reveal Ankethris, right? So he just says, what I said earlier to all of you and all the other people about what became Ustad Saida was, forgive me, a lie.
Shock, Farad.
Sherekatam, you were there, you know what happened. Sorry for it, but the truth of the matter is that, well, it is, I don't know how secret any of it really is. I don't entirely understand how the powers that be of this city really interact with the nature of reality, especially when it comes to things in their remit. I kept all of you here because I trust all of you, but what I am about to tell you and show you, if you were to see it, you would be complicit in high treason. Who would prefer to not be present, please leave, and it is my deepest request that you not relate what little you have heard.
I think no one leaves, but I think Mumtaz definitely squirms uncomfortably because, like, she has a whole acting career and everything, and oh no, but I think she's in too deep, right? Like,
yeah,
with Bidruhi and with everything going on, but she's the person who's visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think he gives a sigh and says, without looking at Mumtaz, he says, and the nature of what is about to be revealed is going to be different for those who are Kethrisi. In a way, this endangers us more than our non-Kethrisi friends. But at the same time, it is our business. And by inviting our non-Kethrisi friends to listen, I am aware that I am asking much. So again, I will repeat it. Especially the non-Kethrisi, if they wish to leave, there shall be no judgment. And then he just closes his eyes and like waits 5 seconds. I assume Mumtaz doesn't leave.
Yeah, no, she probably doesn't. I think she's the person who's most torn, but in the end she doesn't.
Including my gang, I suppose. Because my gang are not Kethrisi, my personal gang.
Yeah.
They're there. I'm going to have a conversation with them later, maybe. We'll see. But then I say, there is an entity called Prince Ankatam. And he waits to see how people react to that. I don't remember if any of this was public knowledge.
I mean, Saida has talked about it in semi-private settings, so the inner circle definitely knows about it. I would imagine Al-Qadir is not unfamiliar with this, given how much he's hung out with you. So I think varying degrees of reactions. I think Jackal doesn't understand anything because she doesn't understand the implications of there being a prince. And then, yeah, I suppose the people who are the most shocked are probably your own personal gang who haven't hung out a lot with Saida but have some inkling of the impact of it,
Mm-hmm. Anixis, Ankayat, Anserik, Ankuset, Anrakis, Ankhatam. And when I say it that way, you understand what I mean. Ustad Saida had a dream of this person. Ustad Saida said that this person, this prince does not exist, but once Ustad Saida is done, this prince will have always existed. And I did not understand what it meant at the time, and I still do not. But I thought it was impossible. And Ustad Saida has, over the last years or two that she's been with us, has steadily, bit by bit, made this impossibility a possibility. And now she has made it history, present and past. Prince Khatam is now actual. Prince Khatam is tied to the tree that has appeared out of the Tower of Stars. Prince Khatam is what has been flourishing in your mind, blossoming like fruit, like flowers, spreading like weeds. You know what I mean. You have all felt it. I know all the Khetrisi have felt it. Perhaps those of you who have been amongst us who are not Khetrisi, you have also felt it. I cannot speak. I cannot speak for what you have seen, but you know that something has shifted. You have all seen it in the sky. And this thing is Prince Ankhatam, also with many other names. And now there is, for the Khetrisi community, we have a prince of our own, a demon prince, a ruler, a god. And yes, I see in your eyes the fear, the shock. But it has happened. And we must, you know this means that we must act. We must go back to Kethris. We must reclaim it. We cannot stay here with this rival prince in our midst. We cannot stay here with this imagination in our midst. It is too dangerous. But we are not alone. What was once the barest dream that we could take Kethris back is now possible. So we have a prince. And then he kind of like smacks his fist on his palm. A prince of our own. These people in Uduasha, sorry to say, 5 princes at each other's throats, squabbling with each other. We have one. And this prince is for us. And I can show you. Because what has become of Ustad Saida is that Ustad Saida did die. Speaking that last name of this prince. Ustad Saida did die. And we mourn her. But now living in the flesh that used to be Ustad Saida is the avatar of this prince. And I will introduce you now to Sri Anketris. And I'm going to open the door.
Very well. How do you emerge? Oh, Prince of
Dracula-like?
Beginnings.
Do you just fall flat on your face?
Sorry, no. While eating a mango. Because what I was doing before this was
Yeah.
trying to figure out how I can get my hands on one. And I did.
Yeah.
And I think
We need to have a scene with you in the Empire, but we'll either that's a flashback
yeah.
or we'll detail it some other time. But you have a mango.
yes.
And you emerge eating it.
Yes. So I emerge and I say, I am Sri Anketris. The Prince of Endings is my prince, just as he is yours. Do not be afraid. There is nothing to fear.
And a wave of reactions rolls through the room. I think reactions definitely vary, right? Like people are shocked, people are surprised, and so on. But the person I wish to spotlight first is Bald Murad, whose jaw drops open, and who was always the true believer in Saida. Right?
Yes, he was.
And whose hands shaking a little. He is the first person to speak, I think. And he goes, I'll be fucked, Saida did it! Sorry. He realizes that he's 4, but
Mm.
he's like shocked and
think-
overjoyed.
And I think I say very soon she will have always done it. You will forget that there was ever a world in which anything but what has happened has happened. But for now, you are right. And you are not. For the world is already changing.
Yep, that's Saida's idol, all right. He's standing up straight. Like,
I seem to have picked up a habit that infuriates from this body. I will endeavor to rid myself of it.
Yeah, I mean, more reactions all around the room. Alkader is another person who I think is quite floored by this, but unlike Murad, who spoke spontaneously, he is for once lost for words, and he, doesn't quite know what to say. This is, I think what happens to him is that there is this excitement, and then this fear trembling through him, as I think for the first time, something like settles in for him, because a demon prince that's a step above and beyond. That's like having lightning barriers, right? That's having something that is decisive in keeping power in this screwed up world that Udwasha exists in. And I think he realizes for the first time that he has a nation, and I think he's like teary-eyed and overwhelmed, and for the first time in his life, maybe doesn't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And
Should I fill the gap?
maybe. I'm just detailing like some reactions from people we care about, but absolutely, Bidruhi can fill the gap here.
Yeah. I want to take the spotlight for myself, but happy to keep it moving along. So I think Bidruhi kind of like looks at the Sri with the same sort of like wary, sort of confused, but also kind of determined look that he's been wearing for a while. And then he turns to everyone, and then he says, "We have the cause. We have the people, here and at home. We have the flag." And then I think he makes a gesture, and I think the crew who have been told to kind of like raise the flag at this moment.
Yeah.
Well, kind of raise the flag.
Mm-hmm.
We have the flag. We have the anthem. And I think at this point, like, I think I would have asked Mumtaz if she could like sing the anthem at some point. Like, I think I would have told her beforehand that this is the anthem and like there's going to be a thing. I think we had several hours to figure that out. It's not a complicated anthem anyway. So, yeah.
Absolutely, so, she will sing the anthem. That's a cool moment to do that.
Yeah, but just in a second. I think we'll say we have the anthem. And now we have a deity. We have the legitimacy, as legitimate as Uduashans. Now we can take them on the field of legitimacy, and we can take on the empire on the field of legitimacy. But what we cannot do yet is take them on the field of battle, because we have the people, but we do not have the resources. We will claim these resources that are ours. We shall take them back. I will not endanger you further by telling you the plans, but they are in motion. And what happens tomorrow or even the next day, definitely within this week, well, it's make or break. And I would ask you all to be beside us in whatever way. Spread the word. Let people know Kethris is a nation with a god and all these other things. And a beautiful song. Please, Mumtaz, if you would. And I think my Kethris independence clock was just like one tick away, so I think I'll just finish that off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and the anthem is sung. and the era of Ketris is ushered in, I suppose. As we have declared our independence, but now, we have all of these things we require for legitimacy. And I have one other scene that I plan for like after this wake.
Okay.
So my question is if we do that scene now, or if we want to do Saida meeting the Empire first. Or sorry, not Saida, Sri. That's my bad. It's easy to mix this up for myself. But Sri meeting the Empire. Does that happen before the end of the wake, you think? Or should we wait with it?
I think probably in terms of time, it may have happened before because that's maybe where the mango came from.
Yeah. Let's quickly do that scene then, and then we can cut back to the end of the wake. Because I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
On the swell of things. So, where do you meet the Empire? Do you go to it, or does it come to you?
Well, I've been instructed not to leave at least the closet, but probably like the general vicinity.
Yeah.
So I think it will come to me, but I also think that just like everyone else who is connected to the Kethrisi felt a shift, I think it's probably the case that the Empire may also have felt some kind of...
Yes. So this peculiar thing crawls into the room you're in via a window altogether too small for it. And it brings a single mango as a gift. Although quite a large one. And it comes inside and it beholds you silently.
And
I think,
observe it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I think the unique thing about this moment is that you are a newly created thing, right? And here is this horror, this terrifying thing that scares the shit out of everyone, that regards you as an equal, because you're both weird, supernatural, unkillable entities. And so,
isn't that nice?
So there is a long moment of silence as it simply passes you the mango, I think.
Yeah, and I peer at the mango, and then in a completely deranged fashion, peel it using my hands, and peel it, to be honest, perfectly, but somehow using my hands.
Yeah.
Nobody's told me that this is not how that works.
Yeah.
And one of the abilities that I kept from Saida was Ghost Mind or Demon Mind, right? That I'm immune to supernatural terror.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be very difficult to pretend like this is normal, right? And so I say, you are the one who was supplying them. You are the one who has devoted your existence to a fruit.
Yes.
How strange is this? Well, it may be rude for me to ask. Is it satisfying? Is it fulfilling?
It is what is left. It is what remains.
I see.
It says, and it looks at you, and it says, it may be that you will someday find yourself remaining. It may be that it will change you.
I am the prince. I do not remain. I will end, or I will be ended. And that which comes after. You may speak with that thing which comes after. Perhaps it may have a different opinion.
I hope it is so. We should speak, name to name. I was a name once. But the thing which I named is dead. So now I am just a word. Do you understand?
And the word that you are now, that word is no longer spoken.
It refers to nothing. It is meaningless sound.
Then it has been ended, as the prince decrees.
Maybe.
And in ending, I may offer you a new beginning.
Good. A trade. A new beginning for a mango. It says entirely
indeed.
seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I have no reason to doubt it.
Uh-huh.
And I will say, a beginning for a mango. Something within me says that this is an appropriate trade. It is fair. I should roll something, maybe?
Yes. The question is what you were trying to do. I have no idea, but you're...
Yeah, so I think what's happening here is there is a feeling of claiming, like, it says it's remaining, right? That, like, it hasn't been ended, it's just hanging on. And in many ways, that is antithetical to the prince, because the prince says either you end and you begin again, or you don't end and you persevere. But if you're persevering, that's like in your, like, you're not like oh, something else ended and then I'm just like a ragged edge, right? So if this being is to exist around the prince, then the prince will only tolerate it by giving it what the prince thinks is correct, which is beginning and ending, right?
Okay,
and I'm very glad that, like, the umpire is somewhat amenable to this, because if it wasn't, I don't know what I was going to do.
Very good. Okay.
But yeah, that's my impression.
So I think that you are trying to name this thing, because that's how beginnings work in this logic. Like, begin it. So I think that the action is Attune. I think that you have standard effect in that you can imbue the umpire with some purpose. Again, maybe not a purpose you can entirely control, but some purpose.
Sure. Yeah.
And it is I think we'll frame this as risky. Because it's not quite desperate. It is a very big lost opportunity, but it is a lost opportunity.
Yeah.
And the lost opportunity is simply losing the umpire's friendship is a strong word, but like,
losing the relationship. And I also think understanding that this attempt didn't work, right? Like, there are things that are beyond, and like, in one way that's good, right? Because if a demon prince was all powerful, the 5 that exist would have like snapped Saeed out of existence. But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, we made a god and the first thing it tried failed. So like, both are kind of like, I think, interesting. But yeah, that's super cool.
Risky standard then.
Yes, I did not, on purpose, I did not take Saida's first ever ability, which is about extra dice with names. Precisely because Sri is not Saida. So I wanted to flag this for the listener. The entire season is like, oh, is this a name thing? Do I get an extra die? And I don't anymore. Now it's just like raw talent, I guess. Okay. Take +1 die when you gather info about the supernatural. Interesting. I don't think I'm gathering info here. I'm literally giving info, but yeah. So risky, standard, no bonus dice. I'm a vampire. I'm gonna push myself. Whatever. 1 bonus die. Let's go. I rolled a 4. The bonus was important. It was a 3, 2, 1, and a 4.
Okay. All right. So you get your standard effect of imbuing the umpire with a purpose, and unless you resist it, the clear and obvious consequence is the purpose is not with you. The umpire begins, and you set it loose as a rogue agent in the world. It's no longer bound to its black grove. It's just a thing now.
Yeah, and I think that this is emblematic of both me as a player, but also like the idea that you can control the divine. That like Saida made the whole thing about beginnings and endings, and I don't think that Sri would consider for even a moment that like the new beginning has to somehow be linked to me. I mean, what is appropriate is that it begins, and the manner of its beginning is up to it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Good.
So I'm not going. Like, I mean, I have warded. I could just be like, my wards bounce this,
Uh-huh.
but I think I'm not going to do that because it
excellent.
makes perfect sense for me. And all I will do is I open my mouth and say something that only divine beings can hear or understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the new name that I've given the umpire, and it has heard me, and I have spoken it, but I have done it in a way that permits it to decide for itself, and maybe that's why it can do whatever it wants, right? Like, now that I've done this, it can take the name and make it mean whatever it wants it to mean.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And very good. It is now a living god of Uduasha, somewhere in Uduasha. And it's going to do its own thing. And it will no longer have any relationship with you because it has no reason for it. So.
But I want to point out, through no plan of my own, I made a mango god, and I have won.
Yes.
Good job.
Good.
There is nothing that can occur. Now, I mean, it's happened, man. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Good. So, Saida made a mango god. Or, sorry, Sri made a mango god. This is going to take some getting used to. Sri made a mango god and then stepped out and met the people. And, Kethris has a deity. It has a flag. And I want to go to the next scene if everyone is up for it, which everyone can be in. And it is simply late at night, having, sent the people at this private event home, having wrapped up the wake. There is the matter of hanging up the chairs and for these events, you don't do all the tidying at night because it's probably really, really late at this point. But, you do some of the tidying up, just locking the doors, moving aside the chairs, tidying up what you can. So we're talking probably 4 a.m. And then out in Moonlit's room, where the public wake was, there is a light. And whoever wants to be here can be here. So whoever wants to spot it can spot it. But there is a light suddenly, as of a match being struck, and a cigarette being lit. And for a moment, the face that is lit up is that of a perfectly ordinary and very friendly Uduashan man, maybe with a hint of Dagger Islander ancestry. And Munna looks up and he says, "Seems like quite the party."
I love this man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think he's addressing me at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, reframe the scene. Did he suddenly appeared in the darkness?
He has been hanging around as the party dispersed, and
I see.
Now he appeared in the darkness. And he has done the Munna thing of, he was here the whole time. He was attending the wake. He was just kind of in the background, blending in, not drawing attention to himself. Now he's choosing to draw attention to himself.
I think Bidra is doing the dishes. He's helping with that because, he's decided.
Yeah.
Revolution planning starts tomorrow. Today
I think Munna gave the impression of being one of those uncles who's fallen asleep on a chair, and someone will have to wake him and tell him to go home. So that's why no one paid attention to him. The man isn't invisible, but he does a great job at blending in. So I think that's what it seemed like. And then, while people weren't paying attention, he decided to light a cigarette, and here we are.
And then he became cool.
Yeah. So I'm washing the dishes, and then I turn to him, and I say, "Well, very nice to see you again, Munna sir.
Likewise.
Would you like to help with the glasses?"
Oh, of course. Sorry, didn't have a chance to chat before. You seemed very occupied, and I didn't want to disturb the proceedings, he says with the cigarette in the corner of his mouth. And he gets up.
Yeah. Still occupied, sir. Best way to have a conversation is us standing next to each other, doing the same job, he says.
Quite right. Quite right. He puffs his cigarette a little bit, and he starts. I think he just quietly smokes and does the dishes for a
Yeah,
little bit.
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
love this man. I'm not gonna lie. I love him so much.
Mhm.
So that happens for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then he casually like sets the cigarette down as he's finished with it, and he says, "I came here because I wanted to talk about, well, some mutual friends. We last had a discussion under, well, I'd say less pleasant circumstances, but the good folks, the good folks at the Perch prepared things quite nicely for us, although nothing like mother's cooking, I suppose.
Mhm.
But do you recall our last conversation?"
Intimately, sir. And do not be fooled by the urgency of our present condition, which you know equally intimately, I'm sure.
Yes, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think our interests aligned. I typically only spend time with people I think I can help.
I appreciate that, sir. Just want to reassure you that despite the situation, I am not one to leave my debts outstanding. Saturman is, I will not pretend he is at the foremost of my mind, but I am racking my brains as to how I can help you out while still respecting the time pressure of what is about to come.
Oh, I'm afraid he is at the foremost of my mind. You see, Satterman has had business with an acquaintance we discussed, but now I'm afraid that the boring man with the clerical job has purchased Satterman and all of his assets, and that rather changes things. He says almost apologetically.
Bidruhi kind of like starts wiping the plates with a wet rag. And then he says, and when you say changes things, when last we spoke, you were not the most enthusiastic about the idea of me going after the man with the clerical job. Is Saturman's affiliation with him, does it mean Saturman is now off the table? Or does it mean that our clerical friend is on the table?
Well, you see, it presents an opportunity. He says, not looking at you as he leans down to like rinse a plate, just perfectly comfortable doing the dishes. There's some splashing, and he says, it presents an opportunity because our clerical friend, the man with the desk job, the people he usually keeps in his employ, they're supplied by his family. And his family has suddenly got much bigger fish to fry. And so he has Satterman as private security. And that means that the boring man's office, he says, raising an eyebrow, meaning, of course, the bank, for the first time in a very long time has relative strangers in it, new people. Oh, I'm sure he keeps very close tabs on them. Satterman and all his friends have surely been vetted, but when there are new people about, well, it becomes suddenly much easier to walk into the office and act like you're new on the job. Maybe ask where the water cooler is.
That is a strong angle. But can it be as easy as that, sir? Because the people that our clerical friends, well, family used to employ for his protection, the bigger fish that they need to fry is us, alongside the extended family and all their various assets, all rushing down to fry us, I think. And
Yes.
you are better informed than I am at the moving and shaking of this city. Do you
Oh.
think we have time for this subtle approach?
Oh, it is subtle precisely because, as you are aware, you're the big fish to fry, and you are very much in the frying pan, my friend. But what more unexpected way to avoid the frying pan than jumping straight into the fire? I know you to be a bold man, Bidri.
Yeah, I think he's
I
thinking
think he
about this.
washes a frying pan as he says it.
Mhm. I think Bidre is just thinking. And then he says, however we go in, sir, this is very important information, and I thank you for it. We shall go in, shall do our business, take care of your business with Saturman. And then afterwards, I'm afraid, sir, that it's entirely possible that you will be losing a good friend in the hospitality ghetto, for I will be called away on business elsewhere.
Oh, I do not think of myself as losing my friends when they're called away on business. I have friends in lots of places. I'm sure I'll come visit you sometime. I would honestly love to go out east. Haven't been there very much.
You could certainly use the help of someone who understands the logistics of international business.
Huh. Yes, I'm sure I do. And, well, you know me. Where there is business to be made, I'm there. And what better place to profit than at the very beginning of something? Exciting, isn't it?
It is very exciting, sir. I admit it is not something that I have ever had experience of, this sort of endeavor. But I know that I will need all my friends beside me,
Of
and I
course.
count on you as such.
Of course. We do each other little favors. I help you do the dishes, and maybe you will help me do my laundry, for example. On the note of which, my laundry, it's in the bag next to my chair. If you could just help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. I didn't have time to rush it off anywhere else. You see?
So he's actually brought his laundry.
Well, he's bought a bag. We will find what
Okay.
is in it shortly, but he calls it his laundry.
Okay. I was wondering if this was like what Netanyahu does.
I literally just thought to myself, is this a Netanyahu joke? And then I thought, maybe it's too on the
was
nose.
not. It was not. No. Mhm.
Good. I'm glad, because if it was, I would have fully died. Is all I
have a
can
different
say.
I have a different angle. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I will see to it personally, sir.
Mhm.
Please enjoy the tea and the refreshments. You've heard me. I'm sure my mother's gulab jamun is legendary across the prison, and you have a chance
Oh,
to try
yes.
it for yourself.
No, I haven't. You know, I really must get on that. Are we done with the dishes? Quite.
Yeah, that'll do for now. Bol Murad, you're up.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think Munna will just drift off from this conversation. He
Mhm.
just like breaks off and he goes, having made these vague promises, we'll stay in touch. I'm sure I'll start many new businesses in your new country.
Yeah.
He goes to have some gulab jamun and wanders off. And of course, the laundry bag that he has left for you, coincidentally, covered in little blood stains here and there. They seem to have been involved in a scuffle. Are some uniforms of Hive enforcers. That's just how convenient. Some uniforms belonging to Hive enforcers, such as have recently begun working at the Majesty Bank. They're a little dirty, but if you wash them right up, he surely wouldn't mind you borrowing them.
We shall use our laundryman. That's not a euphemism. We have a very good
Yes.
laundryman.
Yeah, we do have a very good laundryman. That's true.
Mhm.
Probably also what Joe Biden said to Netanyahu not 2 months ago. So,
Oh, dear me.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we have an opportunity to sneak in, which we
Yeah.
can combine with the assault. I
Yeah.
assume this is probably enough uniforms for the four of us.
Yeah, I figured this would be Munna's contribution. He wants Saturman dead, and so he gives you something that can get you close to Saturman, which is some uniforms. Now, they won't work with Saturman himself because he knows his people, but they'll get you close enough, right?
Yeah. Excellent. We shall see of the rest of it.
And it can also get you inside the bank. So
yes. Yeah. Okay. I think let's zoom out a bit. Should we start gathering info for the final score, or do we want to do other things before we? We still haven't seen Clem and Tamira
Well,
and so on.
That's true. I wanted to have a scene with Clem.
Okay.
So
Let's do
Okay.
that.
because I think
Good.
that's a reason that like maybe at least the two of us aren't in this scene is that that's happening.
Maybe
Sure.
then let's save the gather info and so on for the next session.
Yeah.
Okay. This also means that I wanted to have some quick words with our two gangs, but that can also wait.
Okay. Let's do the Clem and Sri scene first.
Okay. Clem, are you have you gone back to your lair or are you sleeping over?
I think it's I mean, I am desperately in need of indulging vice is the issue. So I think,
Man, okay, fine. Maybe we should do the Tamira scene first and then I will burst in.
no, I think this is fine.
Okay.
I think fuck it. Clem is sleeping over. If of course there is a room for them.
There is.
I mean, it's a boarding
so.
house, right?
So I think whenever if you were to like wake up in the middle of the night to go for a piss, you would open the door and Sri would be standing there in front of the door. Or maybe you were just getting up because you knew something shady might have been happening in the kitchen. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. Can I piss first, or do you want to speak to me?
I will accompany you.
Are you telling me Shree's like a cat, where if you don't have the door open and you're in the bathroom, it's going...
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I think Clem's completely nonplussed, and he's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go to the bathroom in front of this this non-ablution having creature.
Mm.
I love your
A key advantage of never consuming things is never having to expel them.
So, what do you want?
I wish to speak to you about siblinghood. And I will endeavor not to be as frustrating to you as Pidrohi seems to find me.
Say that the people you fight with are like your brothers in arms. I didn't really find that. I was conscripted. So, what are your meditations on the matter of siblinghood then? Because mine seem to fall rather short of what I've heard they should be.
What has occurred to the bearer of this body was not singular. Perhaps it was not singular before it occurred, but certainly now that it has occurred in other places. And those people who did those things, who called us into being, they are my siblings. And it seems that you are like me. And I wondered if that is because you are a sibling whom I do not know, like the Prince of Endings is to his siblings.
I assume your siblings are all in the land which we call our continent, Aruvia, then. Not from beyond the seas. Because there is a land. I suppose, am I your sibling from that other land?
Just as the one who called me left Kethris, others may have left Kethris to go to other places. And those people who may have called them may not live here but across the ocean. If you are indeed a sibling, it seems that perhaps you are merely holding on, that you have remained. Such a thing is anathema to me, but my body has tasked me to love you instead. And so I attempt to speak as clearly as I can in order to understand how to love you, if you insist on remaining and not be given a beginning.
How can I not remain?
By accepting your ending.
I will not accept that. There are things here that still demand my attention. And I will not end until I have given them that. I will not end until I remember exactly what I have given away. And I don't believe that will ever happen. And so I will never end. I will see that horizon at the edge of Kethris. I promised you that we would end together. And
You did.
sibling, we will not end.
I met a cousin you might call it, and it said its name, and it had no meaning, that name, and so I gave it the beginning I could afford to give it. If you will not end, sibling, then do not accept anything but brightness. Do not dim your flame. Do not imagine misery and exhaustion. We are the Prince of Endings. We burn.
We are the king of beginnings. We endure. And I think this is where Clem's washing their hands. They kind of try. I'm sorry I held a knife to your throat, I suppose. Although it's a sort of beginning, isn't it, a knife? I
Power.
understand you far more than I did, Saida.
I'm endeavoring to be understood. For a god who remains obscure is not a god of the people.
Endeavouring to be loved, aren't you?
Love neither ends nor begins, and therefore it is not within my remit.
And with clean hands, I think Clem steps forward and takes Shree's in their own. I have confessed my love already once today, and I will do it again. I have love for the people that have accepted me, who have brought me into their fold. And that means that I love you. I suppose, if you are Kethris, if you are of Kethras. And I think Clem says this in probably quite stilted and stuttered Kethrasy, because they've been learning.
And in much more fluent Kethrasy, Sri says, you will not love anyone, any two, in the same way. But I shall endeavor to understand the love you have for me, as I must endeavor to understand the love all of my people have for each other. Your love for Mushfiq is a new beginning. Do not waste it.
I will endeavour not to, beloved.
I will practice sleep now.
In the closet? You'll wake up.
That
with
is
a
where
crick
I've
in your
been
neck.
informed I should practice.
Well, you will learn many new things from being in there. But you'll wake up with a crick in your neck. But maybe that is one more experience that you should learn. Good luck,
I look
Sigmund.
forward to pain. It seems interesting.
Oh, you got plenty of that.
Indeed. And I think, yeah, I mean, like, I've made my position as clear as I know how, and so have you, and now I'm going to go back into my closet. Tom Cruise come out of the closet. Sorry, that was a South Park joke that I'm not sure why it erupted from my brain. Anyway.
Many things erupt from your brain, sir, that cannot be fully explained. And yet we
You
are
are
here
not
for
wrong.
them.
But this should not be one of them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is I regret it.
Whether I wanted to or not, I am here for it. I am here.
Well, indeed.
Excellent.
So that was my scene.
As the community
Good luck with
deep
Tamira.
dives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't have no safety Saida here.
Just a safety 3.
Mm-hmm.
Safety's off. Do we go to the Tamira scene? Or
We can, if you're meeting Tamira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
stay on
Okay.
here. I've been on screen a lot.
Yes. So how do we set up the Tamira scene? I guess you just go to her. And remind me, your vice is obligation, right? So it's just doing work for her, basically. She's just a horrible person who exploits you. Yes?
Is Mushfiq going to follow in the shadows?
What I was thinking is Tamira is in and of herself, well, a drug dealer and experienced in pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
The Bone Shakers. I'm sure they would like a new market to delve into, and so would Tamira. I'm imagining setting up a dinner, perhaps, at Maximilian Molyneux's restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Would Mushfiq like to come for new experiences, for new food, culinary experiences to indulge his vice as well?
I mean, the food part sounds fine. The part that does sound fine is, I mean, it was lovely seeing with Clem and all, but also Clem said that they can love two people, one of whom seems to what's the kind way of putting it? They're taking advantage of them somewhat. So
Don't be kind. Just be honest.
Yeah, I think we might need to kill Clem's wife. I think it's honest. But would that be nice? Would that be a good thing to do? I don't know, Clem. Sorry, Salty. I don't want to. You tell me how you want to deal with Tamira.
So I'm thinking is Mushfiq can come along if he'd like to, mainly because I've of course got Sit by My Fire, which will help you out with indulging your vice.
Mhm.
And I think it'd be nice to introduce Mushfiq to Tamira as well.
Sure. I mean, we
And then
can,
if Mushfiq would like to do whatever he'd like to do, that's up to him.
Is Mushfiq going to talk to Bidri about this thing that Clem asked him to do and he's not sure? Because I could
But to
push you.
dinner. Very normal.
push Mushfiq to do what?
Not. I assume Mushfiq doesn't want to go to the dinner with Tamira, even though he's been invited.
Dinner on the one hand, dinner on the other hand. You know what, Mushfiq will go. He's gonna go.
Okay.
You know, let's check out this wife. We'll see what we can do about that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Yeah, so what sort of menu is Molyneux serving? Because I imagine it's probably pretty different from when we last saw him.
Oh yeah. Remind me, you offended him somehow?
Oh yeah, he was serving like very haut cuisine, you know, like I don't know.
Is that how you say that word? I spent my entire life thinking of it as haute. Because
Maybe
Or
hot.
cuisine.
I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. He's got tweezers.
Jesus.
He's got tweezers and so on. He makes emulsions.
Yeah.
This is
He
not-
makes like complicated food, yes.
Okay,
And last
it's the
time,
bear
That's not the
season
get to
3.
see.
yeah. And last time you guys offended him because you thought portion sizes were too small or something.
Which is true. I think we told him to cook proper food in the future.
Yes. Yes.
And he gave you chips.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Not chips.
Oh yeah. But he made things with potatoes. Yes. Very good.
He's the potato man.
He is the potato man.
That's where we were last time.
Very good. So, what kind of food is on the menu this time? I feel like he is, despite him being a true artiste, he has found some success with his potato dishes.
I mean, like, potatoes just good. So why wouldn't you?
Yes. So I think, okay, this is the first thing that comes to mind, so I'm going to go with it. He has invented the tater tot, and he is now serving. Yes. So in this world, this is genuinely innovative and new, novel creations, right? And in this world, this man has invented the chicken nuggie and the tater tot.
Perfect.
Yeah, this makes sense.
So
The things
he is
squeezed onto it.
Yes. So he is basically serving like a restaurant kids meal, except he presents it as like hot cuisine.
Oh, so does it come with a toy?
No, it does not. Although
It
It
comes
comes with a visual aid.
yes, it comes with a visual aid.
It comes with a small artisanal sculpture.
Yes, exactly. So it comes with a visual. Yeah, okay. So it's basically a restaurant kids meal, except he presents it as like groundbreaking hot cuisine, and it comes with a sculpture. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's no referent, you know. There's no reason for us to treat this as like a kids meal.
No.
Are
No,
there
exactly.
artisanal wax colours in order to colour in this sculpture?
Of
Perfect.
course.
Wonderful.
The full experience.
The full experience, indeed.
And also a fizzy drink.
Yep. It's the latest thing. Everyone appreciates it.
So he's never had a fizzy drink in his life.
Yeah. So that's what's on the menu. It's weird, but that's what we're going with. And of course, the portion sizes are still small because it's
It's a kid's
artisanal.
meal.
It's one
Uh-huh.
chicken nugget. It's one chicken nugget.
Yes. And, this is where we find Tamira. And what was your bone shaker contact's name again?
I believe.
Sorry, what was it?
Flash?
Flash. Yes. Mm-hmm. So Flash and Tamira are gathered, and Clem, you're arranging this meeting between them. And so that's where we cut to. And okay, you tell me, Salty. Do you feel like you want to start this with an indulge vice roll and see how it goes, or do you want to do it like mid-scene?
I feel. Shall we do it mid-scene?
Okay.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. And
So
I seem to have recalled that the bone shakers are what, one tick off of tearing up? Would this be a tear up for them?
yes, this would be a tier up for them. Absolutely. Which would take them to tier 3 then, because they were tier 2 previously. So, Flash tries out the food, samples it cautiously, and he looks to Clem, right? And he says, and I think Flash is the sort of person to be quite frank. So, damn it, I keep losing names now. Now I lost Flash. What was the town you came from? Sunfall?
Sunfall.
Sunfall, yeah. So he goes, so, you guys conducted business back in Sunfall. Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd it go over there? He looks between you. And this is just him making conversation and trying to scout out things, but this also strikes a nerve because Sunfall was where shit really went wrong for you two.
Well,
But he just asks it.
Shall we just say insurance fraud doesn't pay as well as some would hope it would.
My sympathies.
Oh, you don't have to apologize to me.
Of course. Of course. And my good lady Tamira, do you like Sunfall? Business good over there? And she leans back, she takes up half a chicken nugget on her fork and turns it artfully. And she says, Sunfall, it's not bad, but I came here for a reason. And as I understand it, you're trying to convince me that you are one of those reasons. So convince me. Then she pushes down the chicken nugget into the sauce with a splat.
Oh,
Banana
And,
ketchup. Banana ketchup.
Yes. Banana ketchup, yes.
Mm.
Flash looks a little like caught aback, but he goes, sure. We've got contacts, connections, and coffee. We got the best coffee. Don't listen to the people who say you get that from other organizations. Our rivals with their restaurants may serve food, but we got the best coffee. And we're very interested in interesting things to put in it, and we can pay well for interesting things to put in the coffee. All the rage. You see? And I think Tamira leans back kind of like languidly. And this is the thing with Tamira. She's very, very good at being unpredictable. So I think it's totally indiscernible in this moment whether she's actually uninterested or just feigning it to spur them on. But I think Flash and company are getting a bit uncomfortable. They were told this would be like a good business deal. And she is just putting it off like, nah, I don't know.
I think at this, Clem looks over at Mushfiq.
Yep.
In the,
yeah, I think we
say
sort of.
that the Bone Shakers have a good relationship with us? You know, there's a Kethrasi market.
Yeah, I think we could have glossed over if we actually meeting Tamira, but we just sort of just sat down to eat, I guess. I think the more important question, I think, for Mushfiq is not what's happening, but why. And it goes and I think it sort of whispers in Clem's ear. So, why exactly are we doing this for Tamira again?
The Brown Shakers are good friends of ours.
No,
They'll help fund us. They'll.
No, yes, I do. I understand that.
They're good people. Well,
that's true. But if I remember correctly, this is the person who tried to poison you, right?
it was consensual.
Consensual poisoning, yes.
Yes.
If it wasn't consensual, I would have. Shall we say the chipped cup would not have been the chipped cup anymore? It would have been the shattered mug.
Nice.
Yes. Mushfiq, I think, is looking a little skeptical, and I think this is the kind of thing that might be a bit out of his. He's a bit out of his depth with.
If it's your cause. If you're not happy bringing these two into it, then I wouldn't promise it to them. But if you can, then I will do what we have to.
I think Mushfiq is sort of tiptoeing around this thing, and he goes like, "Oh no, it's I'm not unhappy to do business with anyone that you're on good terms with." There's an implied question mark out there. Like this is good for you, right? This is good. The consensual poisoning, the obligation.
Half shrug and then kind of a wry twist of the mouth, and well, of course, Ustad. Anything for the cause. Anything for you.
No, you don't have to do anything for me.
I don't have to, but I'd like to.
And if so, I guess I think we're sitting on either side of Clem, right? Like Tamira's on one side, which was on the other side. You know what? I think Mushfiq sort of just leans back across and then gets to look at Tamira and her demeanor, and what's Tamira doing? Or
Yeah,
like I don't know, what's the vibe check?
The vibe is that Flash and company really want to make this deal. Like they would like to secure Tamira's drugs. And you guys told them that, like, yeah, don't worry, she's willing to make a deal. And Tamira is holding, like, very effectively holding their feet to the fire by doing very little. She's just having the look of like, no, I'm not that interested in your business deal. You'll have to impress me, cut me a better deal. And I think it's like obvious from an outer character point of view that she is, as she does, taking advantage of them. They can understand that the situation in the city is precarious. They need supplies, they need money, they need drugs, they need these things. And she has them. So she is just screwing with them and getting them to negotiate down. And she's doing this very well, I think. She goes like, convince me, and they go like, well, we can offer you this and that. And she goes, I don't know.
And what about your attitude to Clem?
Yeah.
What about Tamira's attitude to Clem?
Yeah.
Oh, Tamira's attitude to Clem is just, Clem is an asset. Clem brought me these people and is going to help me squeeze them for all they're worth, right? That's how it goes.
So it's not
Tamira just
true love.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, stepping back here a moment, Salty, because I feel like this is important since we are probably reaching the end of the campaign. Do you have an ending in mind with your situation with Tamira? Do you have a direction for it in mind, or are you playing it by ear?
Playing it by ear. Play to find out.
Good. But yes, I don't think, like, Tamira is your rival. I think it's fair to say that it's hardly true love. Tamira likes Clem, and Tamira trusts Clem to a very great extent, but she's also kind of shitty to Clem, like a lot of the time.
I feel like for anyone, it's like one of this couples dynamics where for some reason the toxicity is not obvious to the victim, but as soon as an outside party who has no vested interest in letting this go on, as the Bone Shakers do, as soon as someone like that steps into the scene, they'd be like, "The hell is this?"
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think maybe there's not enough time in the campaign for Mushfiq to do like a whole lot of thing, but there's no reason why he should let Tamira get like a good deal, and I think I feel like Tamira's bluffing here a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, she is. She's just very good at it.
yeah, but I mean, we're like, I think we've established as a whatever tier, what tier are we now? Like, we've got contacts, we can get people in and out, and that's fine. Like,
Also, is it the case that like the new market is Kethris they're talking about, like selling drugs to the Kethris, or did I
That's quite
misunderstand?
possible. I think that's from Tamira's point of view. She wants to open up that market for the Bone Shakers. They just need a supplier. Like they're just worried about the troubling times ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's apparent to Mushfiq or what he would make of that, but that's also a thing, right?
I think it does. I think it is apparent in Mushfiq, like at least that Tamira is trying to. Mushfiq isn't like like very big picture, spidery kind of character. I think if he's gonna do something, it's gonna be mostly based off his feeling for the situation, and that could be for better or for worse. And I think right now he's feeling more sympathetic towards the Bone Shakers than to Tamira, who's just this, just feels off. The vibes are not good. And I think that he goes that. I think he talks to Flash, was it? And he goes like, it goes, sorry about all this, Flash. I thought we just thought that Tamira here would be a bit more reasonable, but sorry, we can do better for you, and we will. I think we've been good to you, and you've been good to us, and we'll find someone. We'll find a better supply for you.
Okay,
sorry, we couldn't make. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a consort action in here, was what I was going to say, sorry.
Yeah. Sure, let's consort. And what are we, risky standard?
Yeah, let's call it risky standard. I think Tamira is dangerous, but she's not desperate level dangerous in this situation.
And since I'm going to indulge fights a bit, I'll also push myself.
Yeah, and your goal here is basically to give the Bone Shakers genuinely like
a good deal. Yeah. This is this is just the part where we go. Yeah, we're willing to walk away from this if you're not going to negotiate on good terms.
Yeah. Now let's see how
Ooh,
it goes.
that's
It's a 6.
Nice.
Lovely.
Yeah. So Tamira actually perks up a little bit, and I think the interesting thing that happens here is that Flash and Co get like they get their spirits renewed. They realize that we're not as desperate as we are. We can shop around. This is fine. But the interesting thing that happens is that Tamira looks across to Clem, very irritated, and there is this again this dynamic that's maybe not obvious to Clem, but that's obvious to Mushfiq of fix it, get them back in line. Don't ruin this for me.
And I think with Mushfiq here, I think Clem tilts their head and smiles. Just, what do you want me to do? Or fix it yourself. I'm not your tool anymore.
Yeah, so you do push back. Lovely. I think now is when we see your indulge vice roll then, because it may be the last time you indulge this vice, depending on how things go. Does it make sense?
Yeah. That's all of my stress cleared.
That's all of your stress cleared. So, Tamira waves a hand, and she goes, fine, because this is still a deal she genuinely needs. And she says, fine, I'll take your offer. And what she is doing here is she's still trying to get out winning this situation. So she goes like, okay, we've already negotiated a little bit. The term is already slightly favorable to me, so I'll be happy there. And that's like her one concession, and also power move, because she still gets a good deal. She just doesn't get a great deal. You can do more if you want, but that's where this is going to land. And so the reason this clears your stress is, of course, that you have technically fulfilled your obligation to her, but also without totally surrendering to her, right?
And yeah, Mushfiq is here, so I think Clem's going to push back a little bit more. Honoured wife, since you're in such a good position, please share with us the bounties of your success. Would you not?
Okay, now you're being cheeky, which is risky. It's an action. It's risky, and I think it starts out as limited, because Tamira has very little reason to be generous here. And she does hold most of the cards in your relationship. Or she did, up until Mushfiq started helping you, at least.
Yeah.
So we start you off in a risky, limited position. It's up to you what sort of action it is. If it is a command, if you're intimidating and pushing back, or if it's more of a sway, or maybe even a consort.
I feel like this is a command, in that I think in this, it is... I think it's Clem sitting next to Tamira here. And I think she can feel Clem has... I'm going to flash back, and this flashback is Clem... Now, since we have a workshop, we must have a supplier. And if we have a supplier, I've got a bandolier. And in that bandolier, I can get some poison of various stripes, right? Now,
sure.
Can I flash back and have poisoned her food?
Sure. Yes. The question is if that's an action or if that's you spending stress to bolster this command thing. How do you want to frame it? As an action in itself to poison her food, or as a supporting move for what you're...
I'm thinking it's a supporting move to make it a standard effect or something similar.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I'm serious about this.
Setting yourself up. Absolutely. Okay, so spend... Then I guess you're spending some stress, which you just cleared, which is a pity, but that's how it goes. Spending 2 stress, then.
Yep.
And sure, that can put you at risky standard command.
Wonderful. And standard would get me, she rolls over.
Yeah, she signs a fair deal with the Bone Shakers for like the first time ever. She will, in fact, not attempt to screw them over.
What's the poison meant to do exactly? Like, are you trying to just give her,
diarrhea?
Or I see. Do you want an assist as well? I mean, you said that because Mushfiq is here, and we can make that more.
I mean, if you're down to spend the stress.
Wait, hold on. It's Tree who said diarrhea, right? That's not actually what's happening.
I mean, it could be.
Well, he said that, and then no one corrected him. So
I think the idea is poison. I think the idea is poison to make her woozy to notice that she's been poisoned.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the I've poisoned you already. Don't fuck with me.
This is non-consensual poisoning.
Maybe it is consensual poisoning.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe there was an agreement.
Yeah. I spotted the Tree said something. Aadiyat assumed that was correct and moved on. And I wanted to stop it before that happened.
Hey, sometimes.
How good?
Okay. So I was going to say that does good Mushfiq assist as well to pick this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mushfiq also will maybe say something to needle at Tamira or to highlight that her, I guess, positioning in this relationship is weakening, and he goes, after all, Clem's done for you. I'd expect that you'd do something for them. I mean, that's what a relationship, what a partnership is, anyway, right? Well, at least that's what I would do.
Is it the case that Tamira can see what's happening here?
Oh yeah, probably. And I think she's very upset by it. This also gives this command role more stakes, right?
Yeah.
And if I push for great, can it be her pursuing me now?
Oh my god!
Okay, yes.
How
If you
the
push for great,
turntables!
that can absolutely be it. Yeah, she realizes you're slipping away and she wants you back.
I'm just
Sure.
over here shaking my head.
Uh-huh. Good.
Incredible. And fuck it, I'm gonna push for another die as well.
Good.
Unless there's a devil's bargain here, so I can just indulge my vice again.
Okay, well I can they can be a devil's bargain. They can absolutely be a devil's bargain.
Hell
I
yeah.
think this is one of those devil's bargains that may or may not have a big impact. It may have almost none. But I think the interesting devil's bargain here is you're pushing for this. Accidentally gives the Bone Shakers an amazing deal, and they wind up being a more powerful gang than you. Like they're about to tear up, you're about to tear up, but if you give
They're
them
about
an
to tear
incredible
up way
deal,
more than we are.
yeah, exactly. Then they'll tear up and immediately become strong, I guess.
Are we cool with that?
I think that's great.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you like the Bone Shakers, but I mean, they are also another criminal gang, so...
Yeah, I feel like they'd have a hold in the Cathrasy population. Maybe they've got Cathrasy folk in with them.
They do. So if you take this devil's bargain, they will become power players because of this really good deal.
I'm not okay with this, actually.
Okay. Then, I suppose, don't take the bargain.
No, I will push instead.
Thank you.
So risky, great, 2 bonus die. That's a fucking crit, baby. Thank you.
That's a crit. Okay. So Tamira realizes that she is outplayed, and I think that what's fascinating here is that she, totally to her own surprise, she finds herself caring more about Clem than the business deal.
My wife!
Yeah.
I didn't want my wife until my wife was leaving me.
Yes.
For this tall
Tamira's just a...
Divorce papers have been signed, and that's when you realize, oh shit.
So Tamira goes, oh, fine. Let's agree this as friends, shall we? And she, negotiations will continue with the Bone Shakers, but she has been like absolutely cornered, driven back, and I think you can tell that she's very worried about losing Clem. And I think the interesting scene is after the Bone Shakers leave. I'm trying to get through, like, there's more to be said here. I'm trying to move along a little bit, right? But I think the interesting thing here is she signs this deal with the Bone Shakers. They agree on something. There's like witnesses. And then they leave. And she remains behind looking kind of deflated, with her plate emptied of its contents. And she leans forward and she looks at you. And she says, so I'm generous now, am I?
Been, haven't you? And I think this is Clem offering Tamira the opportunity to, I suppose, rewrite things, take control of the narrative.
Yeah, you're offering her the opportunity to take control,
or at least she can take control by claiming she's been generous the entire time.
Yeah.
And no, don't do that. We just defeated Tamira with the power of love.
I think she goes, I guess that's right. I guess I am a very giving, generous person. Although, I find myself surprised at being so eager to share. And she looks at Mushfiq with like a fuck you look. I'm not normally prone to sharing.
Mushfiq says, oh, neither am I.
Incredible.
She's seen the way Mushfiq ate those chicken nuggets and knows she can't compete.
Wow.
Mushfiq's plate is like spotless, while she's still got some sauce on hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amateur hour.
Yeah. In fact, are there any crumbs on Tamira's plate? We're just gonna take it.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
like you do.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't like sharing either. And then you reach over and you
Yeah.
pick something up from her plate and just pop it
Yeah.
into your mouth.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
This is when you
power
indulge
move,
your vice.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a power move. And
I'm
yes,
going for it.
I guess roll indulge vice, but
Oh, is this indulging vice or is this like an action move too?
I think it's an action. I think we're playing the game of love, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's an action. I think you're commanding too. You have a commanding presence. And let's call it
Yeah.
risky standard. What the hey?
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Come on. Risky standard.
But is it failure interesting?
Hmm?
No, nothing. Go on.
I think I have some spaces for at least a mixed success here. So
Okay.
Failure might be interesting, but I don't.
I
want to
will
fail, and
assist. I'll assist on this because why not?
I'm
Yeah,
also going to
yeah.
assist. No, I can. Two people cannot assist.
Oh, if
I'm
you're
sorry.
going to assist, then how are you assisting? How is Bidri assisting in this moment?
I feel like Clem assisting Mushfiq and
Yes,
Mushfiq
much more interesting.
fight has
Yeah.
Yeah,
implications.
yeah,
right?
you assist each other. You go ahead.
Yeah, you do that.
And I assist by, I think Tamira's chin is in my hands. Yes.
Oh wow.
Wow. You're totally pushing back against this, yes?
Oh, it's a 5. Okay.
Mm.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay, so it's a 5. So what's going to happen here is that Mushfiq is going to push back against Tamira, and she's going to like respect Mushfiq in the maybe even fearing him sense. However, she's going to interfere in your bank score unless you resist it.
Yes.
She still is a rival, and she's going to somehow try to sabotage Mushfiq because that's how she rolls.
I'm not good at sharing either, bitch.
Like, there's nothing she can do in this moment, but your consequence is that she's going to. And let's be clear, the bank score is potentially fatal. So the sabotage here is just like outright try to kill a romantic rival.
Hey, let's be honest. That's also what Mushfiq was contemplating.
Yes, and
You know what?
yeah.
I will resist this because I wanted I want the speed of Mushfiq picking food up from her plate to be so frightening that she doesn't want.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Roll a resolve resist, I guess, and just make an impression as being the terrified Sherakatan who is not to be trifled with.
It's
And you roll a 6.
Real my wife's boyfriend
Unstressed.
energy.
Okay. Amazing.
Now, how about we take this somewhere else?
Uh-huh. Are you saying that to Mushfiq or to Tamira?
To the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Worst threesome is when everybody hates each other.
Yes.
Second worst is when only 2 people like each other, but everybody else hates each other.
Wait, you're talking as if you have experience of this tree. Anyway.
Let's not
No
get into
comment.
that.
I'm going to
Yeah.
spend 2 stash to indulge my vice again.
But
Okay.
I will tell you.
And we're not going to get into details about what that looks like.
Okay.
What I will tell you guys about that is that after the previous evening, Bidre came up to Mushfiq, gave him a key, and said, "Sherakatan, this is a key for a nice little attic room, far away from here. Please, you know what to do."
Mm-hmm. Okay, Clem clears exactly 7 stress.
Excellent.
This is very unstressful for them. Does Mushfiq indulge any vice at any point?
Yes, I should. Yeah.
Hey, didn't you clear Vice a while ago? Sorry,
Yeah, I
clear
spent
stress?
yeah,
Oh,
and I
you
had
got stress
more
again.
stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Let's indulge some nice here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how Mushfiq does. He
Oh,
rolls a
add
6.
2 to that.
Well, nothing but
Yeah,
sixes.
add 2 to that, so you clear 8 stress, which still isn't enough. But I guess what we learned here is in the middle of all of this stressful interactions, pushing back against Tamira, we do learn that apparently Chef Molyneux has found his calling, and it's fucking chicken nuggets. He makes some amazing chicken
Nice.
nuggets, apparently.
At least someone's career is progressing from this scene.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sherakata, a minute. Don't come back. Use the key.
Thank you. Thank you, Pedro.
Ustra doesn't need to be around this.
Very good.
Do we have time for the scene with Omid?
Yes, let's do that real quick, and then we
Okay.
can set ourselves up for gather information and acquire asset next session.
What-
Let's do
what-
Omid real quick.
What I'd like to do is have 2 quick conversations with some other people, and then so basically like 3 quick scenes, 2 quick scenes, and then the actual scene with Omid, if it's okay.
Okay.
And I'd like to Mushfiq to join me for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
As
But actually, give me another second to defeat Adi.
Okay.
He's looking at me.
Okay, how about I do my first scene without Mushfiq? Maybe it makes more sense.
Okay.
And then he joins me. Okay. So first scene is with the Badmaishes, my personal gang. And I think I've gathered them all together at at Moffi's Pie's tea house.
Mhm.
And basically it's like this. Now you all saw things that are hard to explain. And you are my friends. You are my siblings. And when I say my, I mean my. You did not join the sword school. You are here out of affection for me and loyalty, and also the knowledge that I will look after you, just as you have looked after me. And I still stand by this. But what comes next after this is something that, let's be frank, is of primary value to the Kethrisi people. And while you will have your percentage and your cut, and that would be enough to set you each up for life, it may still also lead to your deaths. I cannot just expect you to follow me. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, they are your personal gang. They look around at each other. I don't remember how any of your gang members talk, but I think they discuss some among each other, right? I think that there's some sorts of like internal conversations because that's just how they operate. And then, I guess Ripon the Ripper will be the one speaking for them.
Mhm.
He steps forth and he goes, "Listen, you didn't abandon us down in the pit. You got us out. So, what I'm trying to say is, not good with the words and the, where, and he finger guns at you and makes a clicking
Oh
sound.
my god!
I grab his hands and I say, I appreciate the finger guns all the time, Ripon. But please, high treason is not tax fraud. This time, if it
High
goes south,
treason
we all,
is not tax fraud. Yeah.
Yeah,
this time, if it goes south, we all do die. You understand this?
I do.
Finger guns and everything aside. Okay.
I do. But, we figure this time, the stories, they'll actually be true.
I press his hands to my forehead and I say, thank you, brother.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's the first gang
Yeah.
whose loyalty is a bit tested. And I think the most important one in the sense that, well, they don't have like the Kethrisi angle, right?
No.
But I
I
do want
think
to kind of like...
They're loyal to you because you got them out of prison, and it's not something they'll soon forget. So
And, well, obviously, most of the money that we'll take from the Majesty will be spent towards the cause, but they will be set up really, really well, whether they follow me to get this or not. We can figure that out later. But I have them for now, and they will get their percentage. Aadiyat, are you back? Is the man still feeding Audi? Sounds
think
like
so.
the man still... Yeah, okay. Well, it would have made sense for Mushfiq to be here, but I think it's also fine for Bidhui to sound out the actual Rising Moon's sword school. It's like what? They're quality... They're like tier 2, size 2, right? How many people is that now?
like a
Like-
dozen, I think.
Yeah. So I think we get them together.
Mhm.
I think we sit down, and I just kind of like, look at all of them, and then I just say, I've had a conversation just now with my friends, the people I met from prisons, the Bodmeshes. And I talked to them about what comes next. And that obviously is a different situation than talking to you, my people, who have been with us from the very start. Like when my father Ramu came into town and he set things up. There's been a school here. Some of you have been here from that beginning. And I know that you are all raring to go and fight for Kethris, stopping at whatever wherever we stop on the way. But I say I know this because I believe it deep down in my heart. But still, it is common courtesy to check with you, to ask you if this is true. Will you face down the powers of this city, the powers of this country, the powers of this empire in the cause of this new Kethris? For this Ankethris person? For me?
Yeah, I think we'll have Bald Murad. Pilot obviously just looks at you and raises an eyebrow because Pilot doesn't talk. So, and I think Mona is similarly not super talkative. So it's Bald Murad once more who takes the initiative, right? And he says, "I got a question for you first, Bidruhi, if you don't mind."
Speak, Murad.
Does the flag mean anything?
Aadiyat, you just joined, right? Okay. So what I've been doing is I had a conversation with the Bodmeshes to check on whether they want to follow in with what's coming next, and they said yes. Now I'm having a conversation with our gang, and I think it makes sense for you to be here,
Yes.
right? Because it's our gang.
It's our
So
gang.
you're also so it's a conversation. So just kind of like told them, like asked them, like, are they all in? And Bod Murad has just asked me if the flag means something, just to catch you up. Yeah. So to respond to what Bod Murad said. You mean the symbols on the flag or the flag itself, my friend?
Well, I guess I mean the flag itself. Or, I don't know. I'm asking you, what's the flag mean to you, right?
For me, it means it's an image. We all look at it and we think countries have flags, you know? If Kethris has a flag, then maybe Kethris is real.
Yeah, but like a flag isn't real if no one's fighting for it. Then it might as well be like, I don't know, a skirt. I'm not fighting for a skirt. But if you say the flag is a flag and you believe in it, then I believe in it too.
Boldenrod and the Pilot and the rest, are they from the homeland, or are they all like born here?
It's a mix, but some of them are definitely from the homeland. I think Bald Murad is. I think we've established that he's like very traditionalist, so I think it makes sense that he would be.
Especially the slightly older people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe we can then Vidri can appeal to those who are like him, who've been born here and or not born but have grown up here, and which we can appeal to.
If Mushfiq wants to take the floor,
Go ahead. Yeah. Bald Murad has said he's willing to fight for a flag so long as it's really a flag, and that it means what Bidri says it means.
Mushfiq says that we're Kethris is a land with many different peoples, different villages with different names. Some of us don't even speak the same language, but what we all share is the land. Our lives, our food, our culture, everything is permeated by the land. And this flag represents that land. The land where we've come from, the land where we'll return.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the person this resonates most with is probably Mona, darling. Like she's badly injured. She's old. She's been through so much shit. But I think as you say this, she doesn't say anything. She's a woman of fairly few words. But I think the significant thing that happens is that she looks at you, Mushfiq, and she looks for a moment young again, as she recalls what it was to be young in Kethris. And like a moment that shines through, even through like the horrible scars that that Serpent Temple people gave her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think Bidri stands up and says, "But to fight in Kethris, we need train tickets for everyone, nah? On the new Imperial Rail, or we take the canal. But like, we need stamps, we need tickets, we need food for the journey, we need new suitcases. Balmurad, I know you have never owned a suitcase in your life. We'll get you a suitcase. We need suitcases. We need weapons for the siblings back home. We need all sorts of things. And for all of that, we are going to get money." And yeah, this is Bidri trying to hype people up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they are your cohort. I don't feel like there's a need for a role here.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just hyping them up.
yeah, they are your cohort. They follow you, and so this works, right? They get excited for it. They may not know the exact plan yet, but they're on board.
Same.
And I think they're at this point they're all they know the dangers involved. But yeah, you've talked to them about land. You've talked to them about a flag, and I think especially someone like Munna is like, yeah, I already kind of died for the cause. Like, I guess I've been given a second chance. I'd best take it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Okay. I think as they disperse, I'm going to turn to Mushfiq. I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and say, I think we're roughly all the same height, right? Maybe Bidri is slightly shorter.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of thought Bidri was slightly taller. But that's fine.
Yeah, it's possible. Bidri is short. Mushfiq's also short. But I assume that Bidri, despite being a refugee, has probably had the luxury of city life. So he's probably a bit taller. Yeah. But I think he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, We have my guys on side. We have our guys on side. Neither of these are huge surprises, I must admit, though it was necessary to have these conversations. But this is still not even 20 people, And then the four of us, including our god, make 24. That's not enough. And we have friends, but the Bone Shakers, well, they're good friends, but they'll sell us out as soon as if there's any slightest opportunity to do so. We need more muscle. And Sharakatam, you and I both know
Right.
who has guns, who has weapons.
Yes, a man of unimpeachable character.
Well, there's something between the two of you, and all jokes aside, all my various insinuations and humor aside, whatever between the two of you is real. And I think we should go talk to him and see if we can at least hire him, if not get him to believe again.
Well, Mushfiq furrows his brows and says, "Well, we said we were all going home. He is part of all.
Let's go." And I think I'd like Mushfiq to lead the conversation, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mushfiq will, I just parted so like the Omid's leaders now. They're still up in the same old place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just barges in. He wants to play speak he does.
Yeah.
Yep. Just walks straight past everyone, throws opens doors and says, "It's time."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we find Omid leaning back in his chair in like his office. He is not dressed for battle. He's wearing like a robe for relaxing, and he is at this very moment eating a banana. And he looks up and he says, It's time, is it?
Go home.
And where are we going back home to exactly? Mechanized farms? Burnt out old mansions and estates? What?
I figured that with someone with intricate knowledge of all of Kittrus's little crannies, rivers and swamps, and a reputation for burning down farms of any kind, we might be able to reset that.
You're cutting out.
Yeah, you seem to have some connection problems.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think it is. I think it's the fact that I'm a fan, and that's blowing into the mic, which is calling the. Is that better?
Yes. Can you
Yeah.
just say the last line again?
Yeah, okay. So I just said that. Yeah, I figured that with someone on our side who has intricate knowledge of all of Kittrus's nooks and crannies, swamps and rivers, someone with a reputation for burning down villages, we might be able to do something about that.
Yeah. He chomps down on the banana and he eats a moment. And he says, I assume you're paying me?
It is. I think Mushfiq has thought about this before, and he says that no, I'm not. You're going to do because I could pay you, sure, but someone else might pay you a bit more, and you'd switch sides just like that. No, I'm going to offer you something else, something no one else can give you, and something I know that you want. All right, to be part of Kettrus again.
I think Pedro jumps in now and says, guy who is paid, just an employee. And as Sherikatham says, better offer comes, he jumps ship. Guy who's in it, guy who's in it because he wants to be. Guy who's not being paid, but guy who is as Kettrusy as I am. And is fighting for it. Now that's someone we want next to us. And I bet,
Kettrus.
Omid, it's been a long
Yeah.
time since you had someone fighting next to you who hasn't been paid to do it.
Yeah. He scoffs and he says, Kettrus. What's it even mean? And he holds up the half-eaten banana. No one's ever been able to explain that to me. It's a place in the east. Yeah, I'm familiar with the geography. What's it matter?
So way back in the Deathlands, I remember that we got a feeling for why Omid actually did betray Kettrus, and that was because he was rejected,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
In some way. Yeah. So I
He
think,
was, yeah.
yeah. So Mushfiq says, "No, you know what Kettrus is because I know you wanted to be a part of it. Don't tell me that you didn't. I know what put you down this path, and now I'm offering you another one, a way back."
He finishes the banana slowly, and he holds up the banana skin, and he says, Kettrus threw me away. Wherever do you think he would want me back?
Because Kethrys didn't throw you away. No one alive has ever been to Kethrys. You were thrown away by the sublime republic of Kethrys, subject of Iruvia, subject of Akaros. We are going to make Kethrys a place that doesn't exist. We're going to make it. No one can throw you out because it's yours.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's time for a roll.
Group action?
Yeah, group action, sway. I think clearly is what's going on.
No, it's concert.
Okay, consort, group action consort. That's fine.
Is it okay with you, Aadiyat?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to call this risky standard. We've been doing a lot of plain risky standards because I think there is risk here and it's mainly lost opportunity.
Mhm.
And we will see how well this goes. I have some possible consequences in mind. So yeah, risky, standard, and
What's Bedrohi's chance of success? Okay, you've got 2 points in consort. I think having cleared stress, I'm gonna get some back and
Mhm.
push myself for an extra die.
I'm going to
Perfect.
get myself
Oh,
three more.
that's a 1 and a 2.
Okay, hold
1
on.
and a
Hold
2
on.
from Mushfiq.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm
It's all
going
you.
to leverage my ability Gallant, which means I get to take +1 dice when making an intimate connection with someone I've impressed. I've had
You
plenty of
certainly
connections.
impressed, Omid. Yes.
Yes, and now he will be my brother.
Uh-huh. I have no devil's bargain for you, but
Nope,
you
I'm
can
going to
take this
push.
+1 die.
And the way I'm going to push myself, normally
Mhm.
you don't actually explain how you're pushing, but this is as good a moment as any. I took the Sturman ability Solemn Oath. After you swear an oath to do some task before your crew, cohort, or kinsman, you only need to spend 1 stress to push yourself when taking any action in pursuit of this goal. However, if you
Yep.
relent in the pursuit of your goal, issue forgiveness, or abandon the task, take a level 3 harm, shamed. And I'm going to take 2 stress for this push, but I'm going to narrate it as such. I'm going to take out my knife,
Mhm.
and I'm going to cut my palm, and I'm going to extend my hand, and then I'm going to say, I am not going to rest, Omid, until I have made this country, alongside my siblings, this country that can accept us, that will not be beholden to these other powers. And I want you by my side. So this
Okay.
means making the oath that I will see Kethris formed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But for now, this is causing 2 stress. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's a 6.
6.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
take a stress from Shirakatam.
Mhm. So Omid takes your hand, and he pulls himself out of the chair, I think. And he looks at the both of you and he goes, You two, you're actually serious. A new country. Whole new country.
Whole new country.
And and you're saying I'd be a brother to you?
Omid, always I am serious.
All right. He picks up the banana peel that he has, that he was about to throw away as a symbol of the being thrown away. He picks it up and looks at it and goes, well, they say the trees are all connected under the ground, only you can't see it. For both of your sakes, I'm hoping that's true. And even though I don't see it, yeah, maybe I am part of something, I guess. And he smiles faintly.
Great. This next part you'll love. We're going to rob a bank.
Yeah, I figured you were doing something crazy like that.
Excellent.
I think that's the scene.
Yeah. But it's in the
Nice.
session.
I would like it to be the session. I feel like we're getting into setting up the score properly now, and I feel like to gather info and everything, it makes more sense to do that next session.
Yeah, I think so.
Get in the swing of things. So
Is
we're
there
done
any
with.
unfinished business though for anyone?
I don't think so.
No. I mean, as nice as a scene that was, Omid is still a criminal, and at some point, he can be part of Kethris, but we will try him. We just haven't told him that part.
Oh
Uh-huh.
my god!
Well,
We
you
will
haven't told me
try
that
him
part
as a
either.
Kethris. Huh?
Mhm.
I
You haven't
see
told
we
me
have
that
not.
part either.
No.
Yeah, we have not yet got to the abolition of jails, but we'll get there. Don't worry about it.
We haven't set
Eventually.
up the war crimes tribunals yet. We'll
No,
get
no,
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
thing
once
is-
we take back Ketris, then we'll be like, yes, Omid, you're my brother, and we're now gonna try you as a full Ketrisy citizen.
Yeah.
Oh,
please,
you know what you should do
Uh-huh.
though? You should also try Bidrohi, and then because Bidrohi is a jailbird, he can do what loads of Indian politicians do these days, which is basically get somebody else to go to jail for them.
Mhm.
Mm.
Why would I try myself? What are you talking about?
It's so that he doesn't feel bad because he's your brother.
Look! You won't try yourself. You will be tried by the people who come after you. This is
Okay.
nation building.
Yay.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, maybe we'll die next session anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're taking
Well,
over with us.
That was a fantastic session, everyone. Really
was
enjoyed it.
lovely. Yes.
Huge moments.
Yeah. Really happy
Many
with
important
this.
things.
Looking forward to the next session and our magnificent bank heist that is going to bankroll the Ketter's independent movement.
And we
and
can
the
take that all
hammers
the
and
way
the
to the
bank.
bank.
Yeah. And speaking of bankroll, those of you who are Patreon members, feel free to stick around. And those of you who aren't Patreon members, goodbye for now. We'll see you next session.
Please consider joining the Patreon. It is $1.
Please do.
Also,
Supp-
unlike the crew, we actually can't rob a bank. So this is the closest we're likely to get.
Okay, that's not true. If we wanted to, we could try to rob a bank.
We'd be robbing a lot of banks.
It's fine. Only the patrons are listening to this bit.
Tetris in the butt.
Yes,
See you next week.
indeed.
Bye, bye.
So,
Okay.
for those of you who are on Patreon, this is where we do XP. For those of you who are listening on Patreon.
Mhm.
And shall we start with the XP and then go on to the general talkings?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love general talking.
Give me the crew XP.
Did we execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation?
You
Did you-
sabotaged Tamira pretty well, I would say.
Mm-hmm. There was also some extortion going on. We
Yeah, true.
extorted Omid into joining our cause.
Yeah.
Using
We
the power of
extorted him
friendship.
emotionally.
Yes.
Okay.
Emotional
Okay.
extortion. Sure.
Omid, you always wanted to belong to something. This is it.
Mhm.
We won't tell you that Sherikatam's going to try you for war crimes afterwards.
What we won't tell you is the horrible factionalism that will ensue once you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
established the country in all
He-
likelihood. But-
Listen, it's Omid. As soon as he kind of like has a sober thought about it and is not overcome with the emotions, he'll be like, "Oh, this is a great moment for me to become to lead a junta."
yeah.
Warlord.
Don't worry about it. He's going to form a slightly different group of revolutionaries, and then
Yes.
you guys can have democratic elections between your two different factions. Isn't that great?
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe the
Yeah.
best way for this campaign to end is for us to die in the attempt at creating an
Yeah.
independent terrorists. So we don't-
No, we don't have to worry about the post-independence.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
That's for Moss to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh dear. Continue with challenges
Uh-huh.
above our current station. I mean, we talked about the demon houses. We talked about a lot of things, but
Mm.
did we really do anything yet? What do you think?
don't think so.
Emotionally,
Yeah, Tamira.
Tamira is above our current station. We dealt with big emotions today, gang.
Yeah.
There's
and
no
those
way
also
to.
above our current station.
Tamira
We-
and also technically the Empire, like both were pretty minor
Oh,
moments,
shit.
but I think we can take one XP
Oh,
for
yeah.
them.
I don't think Tamira represents more than a tier 2 faction, which is what
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
But
But I think we
emotionally,
can
she's
take
at tier 6.
Yeah, I think we can take one for various great challenges faced in small ways.
Mhm.
Mhm,
Our reputation is noble, brash, and weird.
mhm,
Well, we have we debuted our god.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. I think one at least.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think one feels right. We were.
You don't think the Bone Shakers thought that we were truly weird while Tamira and Mushfiq appeared to be competing for Clem's affections?
I mean, arguably, you can take another XP if you want. That was a
I
great.
feel
scene.
like that is the weirdest shit because why are you involving like your business partners in your weird throuple?
Yes. Fair.
Okay.
Flash could have joined in
Yeah.
at any point.
Yes,
Using the Bone
indeed.
Also
Shakers as
time.
pieces in your romantic games. How lovely.
Yes.
This
Well,
was
to be
a
fair-
time before such things were formalized, you know.
Yeah. To be fair, they are a gambling gang. I'm sure they understand. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Did we express the ghost drive's inner conflict or essential nature of the crew? Yes, unfortunately.
hmm Unfortunately, yes. I think there's no question about it.
Okay, so we level up. What can we get?
More stuff, I think. Let's not complicate things with special abilities. Let's pile on more stuff to the crew that just makes sense that you have. You're an independence movement. Up the quality of some stuff. I think
Tools,
that's
gear. I think that's good.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Tools and gear.
Tools and gear. You're breaking into a bank. Those are good things to have.
Everyone also add 4 stash or 2 coin. I'm going to just add 2 coin to the crew sheet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to add 3 coin to the crew sheet because I had 2
Mhm.
stash from before and I don't 1 stash.
Nice.
I am selfless like that.
Mm-hmm. Good.
There we go.
Everyone add your stash, and then we move on with the individual exps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're still fiddling with the sheet, I guess we'll not start with Bidrohi, so let's start with Clem.
Okay. Did I address a challenge with Defiance and or Terror this session?
Defiance. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And then I suppose police drives heritage or background very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Struggle,
love to
or
struggle.
like triumph.
Triumph, struggle and overcome.
Indeed.
Ago. Yeah.
Excellent.
The issue is I don't know what to do with all this. I need suggestions on what to use to spend my XP on because I've got like a lot of XP to spend and I don't know what to spend it on. This is
throw
the
it
issue.
in dots.
Yeah,
Just
I
get
think
prowl.
Yeah.
I think getting some prowl and the third dot of skirmish makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
No need to get fancy at this stage.
Yeah. It's also odd to me that you don't have dots in hunt. It feels like you should have, but
So it's a
Clem's-
character choice.
Clem's
Uh-huh.
problems come to them.
Yeah.
Very good session for Clem, but we shall talk about that sort of thing afterwards, I think.
Yes. Let's move on to Sri.
Indeed.
3 by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Is this the reason you decided to say 3? Was it just that it rhymes? Like, did you have no other? Because I really like.
I always have options and many motivations, but I just like to say 3 by 3, like fashion line.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Mhm.
much for. Okay. Good.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote down you displayed your revolutionary zeal or loyal to Kefers, but I feel like now, instead of revolutionary zeal, it should be adherence to the tenets or like adherence to the prince, because I feel like that's a key problem in
Good.
Sri's life. And
Mhm.
loyalty to Kefers, so I think to actually make sense. Police drives, that's all that occurred. Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas, not really because I don't have any yet. But also, I don't expect to have any anytime soon. It's totally fine. And of course, I am a weird divine being, and so I need way more XP before I level up. That makes sense.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Indeed. So yeah, that's me.
That it is. Moving on then to Mushfiq.
Yes. Okay, address a challenge with courage or attention to detail. I think the Tamira stuff counts.
Oh yes.
Attention to detail?
Definitely.
Yeah. Express your beliefs around your background? Yes.
Yes.
Lots. Many. And struggle with issues from vice or traumas. I don't think I struggled much.
What are your vice or traumas?
I'm just obsessed and reckless.
And-
Well, I guess maybe again with Tamira getting the deal, that was a bit reckless, maybe.
You went to a meeting with your girlfriend's wife because of the
Yes.
good food.
Yes.
That could have gone badly. I think you should take an XP for Vice.
All right. Cool. All right, yeah, I think that's 5 total then.
Nice.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Where can I put these points? Why not? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's me.
Okay.
So
Bidri.
you. Yes, it's
Mario.
me, Bidrohi. Did I challenge with coercion or social influence? Yes, I socially influenced and coerced. I didn't fight anyone. Did I express my beliefs, tribes, heritage, or background? Hell yeah, I did. I think so. Quite thoroughly. Issues for my vice. Well, I did overindulge with Mumtaz. I'm not sure what happened with that though.
What happened is that you now have. It's not fully resolved, but you have both Jackal and Mumtaz entangled with you, which I think could be quite bad for them. That was mainly my angle.
Yeah, okay, so I did that. My traumas are haunted, reckless, and soft. I'm not sure. Did any of that come up, do you think?
Seems pretty reckless to introduce your god to your friends with almost no warning.
Yeah, but like, you're here. Like,
No, sure, but like, you could have said, we're going to keep 3 like up our sleeves and then like unleash them at the right moment. Instead, you were like, nope, I'm just gonna tell everybody.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a risk, but I think it makes sense.
No, it makes sense, but I think that's
Yeah.
exactly because of the kind of person Bidri is.
Yep. Okay, let's go for it. So I have 6 XP that I'm going to invest in action dots here and there. I'll figure it out. I'll take one in Prowl. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
3 XP left. Yeah. So now what?
That's that. Yeah. Great session.
What a wild session, guys.
Yeah, I think so. We hit a lot of good beats. I am so happy to have gotten to portray Munna again. I kind of wish we'd brought him in earlier. He's so fun to play.
I think he's great, and I love him. That's all. I had to physically stop myself from just saying this over and over when you were playing him, because I was just like, but it's so good though. I was like, no, I think I said that twice.
I really enjoy being Munna. He's so much fun. He's like just a nice guy who is also kind of sinister, but mostly just a nice guy.
Yeah.
He knows how to do the dishwashing.
Yeah, this is exactly what I liked. That he was like, yeah, I'm totally okay. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I like his vibe. He's like one of the most powerful men in Udwasha, but he's like, sure, I can help you with the dishes. Yeah.
Was the bit about laundry about rumors Netanyahu would take dirty laundry with him to state visits, something like that? Is that what you were referring to?
Well, that's not what Prince was referring to, but that's what my mind immediately jumped to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, my idea was just him smuggling in these uniforms under the guise of laundry, because that seemed to be in character for him.
Yeah.
But Netanyahu, but a little freak.
Yeah, so for the listeners who may be unaware, and by the time you hear about this, it'll be months since the headlines came out. But Benjamin Netanyahu and his family, they go to every time they have a state visit to the White House, which has free laundry services that no diplomats actually end up using because like no one's there long enough to actually do laundry. Yeah. They show up with like 9 suitcases of laundry.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, what a little freak.
Yeah, that's deeply weird behavior, but okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking university student coming home behavior, isn't it?
And you could not make
Mom,
this
I
up,
don't know
right?
how to do laundry myself behavior.
Yeah.
Maidenless behavior and all such.
And I just feel like the washing dirty laundry in public is such a you could not satirize this on account of how dumb it is. Like
Yeah.
I would no serious person would ever write, haha, they're washing their laundry in public, haha, because it would be so difficult to take you seriously after you did that. But this man is doing it.
I'm just shaking my
Beautiful.
head. I'm just sitting
Mhm.
here
Yeah.
shaking my head.
SMH my head. Yes.
Mhm.
My head, my head.
Yeah.
My head. Yeah, let's see. I really enjoyed the session.
Yeah, me too. There were lots of good moments. Really fantastic. Like Clem and Mushfiq, holy
Yeah.
shit, that delivered. We've set it up for so
Yeah,
long,
yeah.
but that really
Mm.
delivered. That was so
Yeah.
good.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like Mushfiq and Zahir. We haven't really seen Zahir, but I feel like this was a good, like, it was a small scene, but it's nice to give him a bit of like he still matters. We probably won't see him very much, but he, matters in this small background way.
Yeah,
Thought that was nice.
That's my fault. I have a tendency to forget about my contacts, like as a player.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, is fine. There wasn't Zahir ended up not being super relevant to the story, and that's fine. But I think it was nice that we got some like closure to his arc in that way.
The man should definitely show up for the bank heist.
yes,
Mhm.
I have plans.
Yep, good.
Ellipses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lovely.
Good. Yeah, no, superb playing from everyone. I enjoyed Sri. I enjoyed the Sardar Bidrohi. He's really stepping into that role.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that a
Mushfiq
lot.
and Clem's dynamic a lot. Yeah.
I enjoyed the absolute freak of Shri going, yeah, I'm just waiting outside your door until you go to the toilet. Now I'm going to go to the toilet with you. That's cat
Yes.
behavior.
Yes.
Literally just
Mm-hmm.
Shri's the cat playbook. You need to change
Well,
the
I
name
mean-
of that playbook.
I mean, the thing is, you would have to be very unaware of normal human mores to do that, which Sri is.
Yeah.
And so that's why that happened. And like when you flash the ability saying, "Oh, beings beyond life and death see you as one of their own," I was like, "Oh, this is great because now I can like just pretend like you just get me because that's what being one of my own means." But then after Bidrohi said more than once, "Oh my god, this is Saida all over again," I think I realized as a player that I didn't want to be inscrutable again. Like I've done that all season, right?
Yeah.
And it's nice to like just be like, "Nope, it's fine. You can just do it."
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think I made a conscious decision. But also I think like it's a new person. Probably they are more able to just do some like, introspection.
Yeah.
So
Just a little guy.
yeah,
Just a little baby.
just
Yeah.
hang out person.
Yeah.
On the subject of Sri, I think since there's no prior history there, and it's also like a very blank slate kind of character, and also someone that it doesn't make much sense for us to want to interact with because, well, you're a god.
Sure.
So I think like in or out of character, or like maybe now, like it'd be good to get a sense of like the kinds of interactions you actually want to have, because obviously it's not fun if like everyone else is kind of like avoiding you.
Yeah, sure. I think the way that I'm seeing Sri is that like kind of like a child, right? So like is happy to go along with whatever is there, and has a very deep imprint like in the body that these are the people that I'm supposed to be with, so I'm going to be here. So I think just like it's interesting to see people speak to Sri and then realize that it's not just like Saida wearing a mask, right? Like it's not like Saida but a bit different. It is genuinely a different person, so you can have a different relationship with them.
Yeah, because I think if you had played it differently, straight up, I have in my personal notes, if Clem would have straight up gone, okay, this thing isn't right, so therefore it must end.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was prepared to go that direction, but I'm really glad you went a different direction, and I'm glad that we could spin
could
off
find-
each other
yeah.
in those ways.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was very fun.
Yeah. And I think like what I also found interesting was being able to express what Saida felt, which they never felt able to express. Right.
Mhm.
That was like a strange but interesting like place to be. Right.
Mhm.
Where like I was just able to tell Clem, oh, I'm supposed to love you, so I love you. Because that's what the body is telling me. Right?
Mhm.
And it's very like interesting to just kind of be like, oh, that's what's happening, right? Like, that's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Mhm.
Because Saida would never have been able to like just say those words in that order without, having some kind of fucking aneurysm, I guess. Oh, having their mothers deleted. Actually, it's possible that like that Saida might have said it, but who knows what that Saida might have meant by that.
Yeah. I looked at this now. We've been doing the podcast now for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we've been doing this season for over a year.
Yeah.
It's
This has been like a long season, which is not bad, but it is like fun. And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I will be interested and glad to see like a different system or a different like setting, right? Maybe something sci-fi, maybe something like apocalyptic, but not in this way, right? Like I really like Apocalypse World, and I make no.
yeah. I'm feeling like we want a break at least from Blades.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
that's doing the third season in something else or whether we're doing an intermission thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'll be fun. I look forward to wrapping up this game. I feel like, I would like to do. I mentioned the idea of like an edit-a-thon, sometime after we're done too, to like get some of the editing out of the way.
Mhm.
And look forward to getting it all published. Although at this rate, like the amount of episodes we're putting out, season 2 will also air for like over a year. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're going to
we're
land at something like 60 episodes almost, including the
60,
extras.
probably
Next session
65.
is next session is session 30.
Yeah.
Probably the score will go 2 sessions, I imagine. And
Yeah.
we're going to have a little retrospective as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we should.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Then
I'm curious,
Yeah,
Salty,
that's-
have you played many? I guess you've played the Dragon game, and that can go very long, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
I mean,
I-
the current Blades campaign I am running, I have played since late 2020. This is
Wow.
a 4-year campaign.
How
that I'm
many
running.
sessions are you clocking with that?
20 in the first season, about 20 between 40 sessions that I ran in the second season, and I think I'm counting up to about 40 sessions so far in season 3.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So,
So 80
About
total?
100.
No,
Yeah.
100.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mentioned the longest I've ever gone is like 200 something, which was nuts. But
Yeah, I do remember
I
that.
played the Dragon game in the same group I mean, we took a pause in 2020, but kind of since I started playing RPGs, so 2017, like quite a long time. I mean, that wasn't as regular, but yeah. I'd be down to do some Apocalypse World. I mean, Zoheb and I, when we were in the Nordics, that's a capital T, capital N. We talked about maybe doing some Most Trusted Advisor or Pasión de las Pasiones as like a mini campaign, perhaps. That might be quite fun. Something completely different to what we've done.
oh man, a most trusted advisor mini campaign with this group would be delectable chaos, I think.
I love
guess.
to be delectably chaotic. It's true.
As break entertainment, that could be really fun.
Yeah, that could be good.
Mm.
Yeah,
The
I think.
PLDP would be the Palace one, weren't you suggesting?
Yeah.
Court Eunuch.
Oh man, I gotta admit that I absolutely love a palace intrigue game.
Yeah.
Like, that is my shit. That is what I wish Scup was.
Yeah, I'd be up
I
for that too.
I am 100% sure that PDLP is secretly, possibly, the best system you could possibly play a palace game in.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it.
Yeah, I believe
I
it.
can see it.
Yeah.
I say this with no evidence, just pure instinct and intuition.
The vibes feel right. Yeah, the vibes absolutely feel right. Yeah, and then we'll see what we do with the actual third thing we devote time to. But I think it would be nice to like break a bit and just screw around, like still record everything so we can release it, but also feel like, you know, less pressure. We can screw around. We can play a game and be like, nah, this isn't really that, you know, this didn't turn out that fun, so we don't have to release this, and just be a bit like more chill about it.
Yeah, we suggested as well, maybe talking about designing some of the playbook and abilities for Blades we've done as well, because we've all kind of tinkered around designing for CFB, because we've got our Silk versus Extra, and then as well our own games, because a couple of us have made our own games. That'd be really cool. And I think it'd be fun to kind of diversify our content. And one other game which might be interesting, I don't know if you've ever played it, is Quietus. It's very few players, it's like 3-player maximum, 1 GM, 2 players. It's really good, actually. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, that might be good for when there are slightly fewer of us. Yeah.
We could try that next week, because there's only 3 of us next week.
True.
Oh yeah, I would be interested in listening to that.
I've played it with Togsy as GM, because he is, you know, the premier horror GM. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's fucked up.
Nice.
It's hella fucked up. Have you guys read?
I've read a bit of it.
It's very Flanagan horror, you know.
What does Flanagan horror mean?
Like, you know, Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Oculus.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
you know, Hush, that kind of very alone horror, melancholy horror, that sort of thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Maybe Hereditary as well, I think, would be potentially a touchstone for it. But I know Flanagan's works are massive touchstones for the game. I can share the PDF.
Yes, that would be great, actually.
It's a nice PDF, in fairness. It's a really nice PDF. They've done good work on it. But yeah. Also, one last thing. I do want to, next session, do, because I have a formula that I haven't made for children rooted in iron, and I have an idea for it. So I think that's good to do on air.
Okay.
And I think it would be appropriate to do it before the final score.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted and goated.
I gotta get going now.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to check out as well. We'll stop the recording here. We'll probably stop the Patreon edit at some point before this, because
we never said
left
goodbye
quite a lot. Oh yeah.
They don't get a goodbye. You pay
so
extra
long,
goodbye.
farewell, off we descend adieu. That's
a
enough.
good one.
You don't deserve more than that.
Goodbye. Yes.
Goodbye.
In the edit, put that in.
Dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Put that in. Here close the doors to the house of endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Soap, Symmetry, called Tree, and Salty. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.
Next time on Desperate Attune.
Here's the setup. Al-Qadr, who is constantly trying to woo this lady, who probably goes along with it because she has literally nothing else to do, goes to a cool bar. Who else is at the cool bar? A couple on a date. Who else is going to be crashing the party? A god.